It's BBC London 94.9, it's 11 minutes past 7, and as we've been hearing in the news this morning, the family of Ian Tomlinson, who died, of course, after being pushed to the ground by a police officer during the G20 protests, have called yesterday's disciplinary hearing a whitewash. PC Simon Harwood was found guilty of gross misconduct and sacked, but he will keep his pension because he has not been convicted of a criminal offence. Mike Pannett is the author and former riot officer with the Met, and he joins us now. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Paul.
What's your response to this decision?
Well, it's quite clearly the right decision to have sacked Simon Harwood, because, of course, you know, what happened on that really dreadful day was quite clearly seen by, you know, myself at the time, and I thought, when I saw those images, I just thought, you know, this is really going to set the Metropolitan Police back 10 years, if not longer, because, you know, they've been working so hard to get the right reputation, but of course it's not an easy job being a frontline police officer anywhere in this country, and especially in London, because they do, you've got to remember, have difficult jobs to do. And when, on that occasion, you know, officers are getting told to clear the streets, you know, they've got to go out there and as the Prime Minister has been calling for, is robust policing. And of course, if officers are told to go out and police somewhere robustly, then of course they need to be backed up by the senior officers and ACPO, who are the very senior officers, but not in this case of Simon Harwood, where quite clearly it's been, you know, it was a wrong decision that he made, and totally over the top. And so, unfortunately, you know, all the sort of decent police officers, and that is the vast majority, would have, you know, just looked at that incident and thought, oh, goodness me, what have you done? A moment of madness, red mist, but also it brings into question how this particular officer was actually still serving in the police, and we've seen the background of having been sacked previously, then come back as a civilian, and then eventually got back into the police service because of failures in the system of recruitment. Now, and again, that has been addressed, but, you know, to be absolutely right, it did set the Met back, and that was borne out. Of course, you know, the Met had such bad press, you know, on the lead-up. They'd had that bad incident in the G20 where Simon Harwood has did what he did, followed by the student demonstration and the kettling. And then, of course, then when we had the riots, the Met were totally on the back foot. And you know, people were, you know, during the riots, during the students' demonstration, Paul, was saying, well, the police are not they were over robust, they were over the top, and then when the riots were on, they were not robust enough, and there were calls for bringing the army out. So it's a real difficult balance that, you know, especially riot officers have got in getting it right. And I spent 5 years in the riot police, and let me tell you, we are not in the era of the sort of Gene Hunt style policing, and things have moved forward massively, and it's just such a shame where one incident like this can throw, you know, a huge cloud over the entire police service. And again, it's not helped with all the news of Hillsborough as well coming off the back of it. So it's not been a great week or two for not only the Metropolitan Police but the police service nationally.
Thank you for joining us, Mike Pannett, their author and former riot officer with the Met Police. It's now 7:15. Travel's on the way. News headlines first. Here's Matthew Schofield.